Well. Good afternoon. It is what is it? February 5th, 2026. Welcome to Scouching Live. I, of course, am Will, the host of the show. I am joined today by my illustrious part-time producer, A.J. Jadero.
Part-time is correct.
On
Part-time
his
is
on his
correct.
day off or whatever you can call it, playing
Yeah.
EU4 as usual.
Yep.
That's where he can be
Yep.
found. So if you have any EU4 strategic questions or inquiries, please direct them to him. I am but a pupil. He is the master. He is the Yoda.
I am
in
not a
this
master
scenario.
of EU4.
Well,
There is so much for me to learn and get better at, but I am fairly decent, is what I would say, because I know I'm not nearly adequate enough for some of the better players, and because of that, I don't feel like I can be called a master. So
you're closer than I am, so therefore,
yes, it's like if I played in the CHL and you play beer league, that's
right.
maybe the best way to look at it.
Sure, yeah. You're maybe a EIHL alumnus, and I am but a SPHL guy. Federal Prospects Hockey League type deal. Anywho, welcome to the show. It's very nice to be back. I have had a pretty nutty week. I became an uncle Monday night, which was kind of cool. But it has been, I mean, about a week ago was when that process began happening. So shout out to the parents, especially mom, because she got put through the ringer. 5 days of labor, which is awful. And so nephew brought into the world, first next generation relative that is in my immediate family. I mean, I do have other I have a great, no, not a, what would you call it? A second cousin. Yeah, I have a second cousin bombing around, and no, so the Scouch clan.
Cousin once removed is what that might be classified
it's my
as.
first cousin's child. Oh, first cousin once removed. That's what it is. I am a first cousin once removed. My first cousin's child. But this is the first direct family member, and it's a good time. He's very cute. He's at home. Everybody's happy. Everybody is relieved, and everything is fine. But Monday night was, we were in the hospital. I mean, the parents of the grandparents of the child were there for like 10 hours before he was born. It was like they were there. I think they were in the hospital, and the process of birth happened for, I believe, 15 hours, 16 hours.
Oh,
they were there.
Boy.
They were there 4 a.m. Yeah, this guy was stubborn, man. He was already a week and a half late, and he was induced, whether he liked it or not. He was getting evicted on Monday, and of course, his dad, being a Leaf fan, he was born 2 minutes before puck drop for the Toronto Calgary game on Monday night, and Toronto went on to win the game. So
and then beat the Oilers the next night.
And then they went on to beat the Oilers. So in his life, he is undefeated. The Leafs are undefeated while this child has been alive, which is great. So that's where I've been the last few days.
Our savior.
Yeah, going back and forth to Hamilton and at the hospital and hanging out, and we had dinner with the parents the other night in the hospital, and that was fun. It was fun. So anyway, that's where I've been, but we're back on a regular schedule now, and feeling good. Life is pretty good, I guess, sometimes. Anywho, how are we all doing? I mean, there's no real other news to talk about, right? Right, AJ? I mean,
burying the lead.
I will say, like, we had for anybody subscribed or as a member of this channel, for anybody subscribed on Scouching.ca or as a YouTube member, we do office hours, if you're unfamiliar, which is sort of like during the afternoon, I pop into the Discord server. People, I show people some clips and some tape, and we talk and ask questions, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good community exercise, and there's a nice little group of people that we're all sort of having some fun together and brainwashing each other. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, and yesterday there was a ton of people there. It was a big turnout yesterday, and during the call, there was this like snowballing effect of, oh, there's some news coming out of Penn State. Like I don't know if this is real, and it's like, oh, this has to be fake. This has to be fake, and then you see more and more social media engagement and reinforcement of the story, and it became to the point where it was definitely real, and you saw the police report and everything. So if you live under a rock, or you don't care about the NHL draft just yet, or you're new to this, welcome. But Gavin McKenna, proverbial chosen boy, first overall pick this year. In all likelihood, if anything, it's more certain now, apparently. But Gavin McKenna, arraigned and charged with felony assault. I actually have the police report in front of me. Felony aggravated assault, misdemeanor simple assault, summary harassment, and disorderly conduct. Got into an altercation resulting in facial injuries that required corrective surgery. So this person broke their jaw, apparently lost a couple of teeth. And so, yeah, it seems like, boiling it down, what happened. Again, we're still figuring things out. But, from my understanding of the facts of this case, it seems like there was a team event. There was some underage drinking going on. There was derogatory comments directed at a parent of Gavin McKenna that he took offense to the point where he beat the brakes off of a guy, punched twice. So that sounds like the whole one, and you break the jaw and they're out, and then another one on their way down, and that's it. like it seems like this was a quick but violent encounter. And yeah, so we might be looking, I know there's a lot of people making a big deal out of like, he could face up to 20 years in jail. It's like, if you think he's going to jail, I got a boat to sell you, it's like, I got a horse to sell you. Like it's, I don't think that kid's going to jail. I don't think that's happening at all. So anyway, look, AJ, you were there yesterday while we were figuring this out, while we were hearing about this. I gotta say, I am a little bit surprised, but also not really, at the reaction to all of this in a lot of different ways. It's very strange, definitely a very strange story. And look, big picture, for me, it doesn't really change anything. I don't think it really changes any preconceived notion of what I've felt about this whole thing all year. I've said it multiple times, like, my thing about McKenna is, like, I don't care how productive or good he is playing hockey this year. It's more about, like, based on how he plays, I want to interview him. I want to see how he comes off, what his coaches say, what neutral observers say. I want to get to know him more before I become more of a doubter. Well, yeah, before I pass judgment or think that he won't learn the lessons that I think absolutely will need to learn on the ice to project to be as good in the NHL as he could be. And so it's like does this feed into the narrative that it's like, I probably want to pick his brain a little bit before picking him first overall and making him the face of my franchise? Like, I might want to pick his brain a little bit, but that was what I was feeling 2 days ago, right? Like, it doesn't change for me. So I don't know. I've talked a lot. Where do you come down on this? Because it's a crazy story. I don't think this kind of thing has ever happened. Not in recent memory.
It's just kind of nuts. That's really how I come down on it. There's I don't feel like there's a whole lot I can say about it other than, okay, something kind of stupid happened, and now he's just got to deal with it. And whether or not it raises his stock or lowers his stock, I don't know. It's more just, okay, that happened, and that's crazy. And that's really all I can say.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people sort of patting him on the back for that are... I don't know. I was raised on sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. And, like, if someone said something like that to my mom... I mean,
I've gotten into verbal altercations about stuff like that, but I've never gotten into...
Why would you care? Who cares? Like, the whole... Like, you... Like, who cares? Right? Like, aren't we supposed to be living in a world, or like if we're in the sports world, don't we want in hockey like these athletes that are stoic and like the Moai statues? Like, don't we want that, where it's like you want that like control over yourself a little bit? Like, I personally don't think it's a good thing that we have people going, I don't like what you said to me, so I'm going to break your jaw, you know? And I'm sure he didn't intend to, you know, cause as much damage as he did. But I mean, like, this can't be a pattern, right? Like, you can't, like, especially because there was like underage drinking involved and all kinds of stuff. It's just really dumb, in my opinion. Like, I think it's just a dumb thing that happens to a teenager, and it's you gotta hope, and this is why the interview will matter. The lesson is, like, not that I'm awesome because I stood up for my mom and hurt somebody, but it's like, I am gonna be in the spotlight for my entire life, whether I like it or not, and my behavior matters, right? Like, nobody, like, if your brother got in a bar fight, you probably would be like, wow, that's really dumb. Like, what a waste of your energy. And the thing about it, I don't think it matters about the intent. I don't think that you get a license to start a bar fight, like, ever, really. Like, it's extremely uncomfortable for everybody else there. It's extremely embarrassing, I think, in my opinion. Like, it's just a stupid way to deal with what's something that just someone said, a stupid thing. You're never going to see this person again in your life, and now you're embroiled in a massive legal thing. He's already out 20 grand. He's going to have to probably pay this person quite a bit of money to make this go away. Like, it's a mistake. Like, I don't think I don't think it matters what the intent was, or like what the scenario was that led to it. Like, I don't think it matters, especially when you consider it this. Like, what if Gavin McKenna punches this guy in the jaw and breaks his hand? Right? Like, he is a number one skilled player out there right now. Like, he is so skill oriented. It's puck skill. It's all in the hands with his game. And he's out, like, and I cannot imagine, like, if I'm his agent, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, these are your hands could be insured for $10 million, and you are out there, you know, and like, obviously there's more to the situation, but you gotta hope it's a learning experience, because this is not good. I don't think this is a good thing. It's a huge pain in the ass. And it's a yeah, like, in the NHL, you think this is the last time someone's gonna say something derogatory in Gavin McKenna's general direction?
Nope. This will just be, now they just know what to hit you with.
Yeah, it's all, exactly. Chubbs Peterson comes to mind. Exactly. It's all in the hands. 100%. It's all in the hands for Gavin McKenna. The ghost of Chubbs comes back to help us all out. I mean, look, it's a crazy story. And I'm not sitting here going, like, I'm never going to touch this person in terms of as an NHL draft pick ever. It's not over, right? I don't think anything is really going to come out of this structurally. And yeah, that's the other thing too, is he is now attracting more of this as a target now. Like, he is painting himself as, inadvertently, I would think, but he's kind of painting himself as like, oh, I can get this. I can rage bait this guy. Like, you
can get a rise out of
you can get a rise out of this guy. Like, I'm not advocating for people to insult family members, but like, I think it's very surprising that like what kind of parenting did we grow up with? Like, I was always told that, like, you're not supposed to, you know, get into physical altercations. Like, it's not a good thing.
I mean, I did as a kid, but...
Well, sure, but, like, you do get into them. But, like, if you are a famous person, which he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. Like, it's nuts to put yourself in that situation. And, I mean, obviously, you talk... Like everybody says, talk crap, get hit, or whatever you call it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a little more explicit than that, but
yes. We're a YouTube channel. We're trying to keep it PG here, but like you know, I get that to a certain extent. but for the biggest thing for me is that he is a player whose skill defines him, his hands define him, and putting yourself at risk like that is wild. And like, again, it comes down to the impression in the interview, you know, like, fool me once, right, type of thing. And I'm sure I would be very shocked if Gavin McKenna didn't come back from this going like, yep, I made a mistake. It was really dumb. Obviously, I gotta, you know, whatever. Learn how to in one ear, out the other things more, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the only outcome really that I see as likely. So it doesn't really change things for me. I'm just a little bit surprised at how many people were like, yes, it is good that in this game where we're always very stoic and manly and grown up, he took something derogatory said in his direction about his family and got into a legal situation over it where, like, it's a felony. Like, he committed a felony, allegedly. And so I imagine that there's going to be some sort of plea deal out of this. I expect nothing's going to happen to him, right? This is America, right? He's a rich, young, white man. He is going nowhere. He's coming right back onto the ice if he isn't already this weekend. Terry Pagula, there's no way he's letting his star acquisition that he paid almost $1 million for there's no way he's going to allow this to prevent him from being on the ice. You know, money talks in America these days, especially, and there's a lot of it flying around Penn State. So I get the feeling we'll be just fine in terms of Gavin McKenna playing. But what a story. I mean, unreal story. I didn't believe it was real, but here we are. And yeah, I mean, again, obviously we don't know the whole story about what happened in terms of, like, you know, maybe we never will, right? But it does seem pretty clear that, like, words were said and he went, those are fighting words. And yeah, here we are. But in any case, interesting story, very intriguing. But I don't know. In terms of the work that I do, it doesn't change anything. Puts him in the exact same spot where I think he's great. I just have doubts, and it's like now there's just another sort of wrinkle there of like, I think he's great. More. I think he's great, but I have some doubts. All right. Well, with that out of the way, I think that's enough on that.
Sure.
Okay. Well, we're right back into it. Do you think Gavin McKenna will drop? I'd still take him as a Canucks fan. Get him to drop the charges for free booster juice for life. I love that comment. I mean, look, I think you interview, like, it really comes down to interview and how like, I think that you can tell a lot about the body language of someone when their back is against the wall like this. Like, if you put him on the like, I think it would be a mistake to be like, good on you, son. Way to go. That's what we love to see. Let's go. You know, like, all of his teammates. I cannot imagine being his lawyer or lawyers or Penn State's lawyers when all of his teammates were in his comments in the comments on Instagram posting MMA memes and, like, all these things that are like, way to go, buddy. Like, it's like, you're a lawyer, you probably don't want that to be out there. But nonetheless, I mean, again, it's like, it's impossible from an outside perspective. It's impossible to know if this changes anything. But if you sit him down and you push him on it and be like, what happened? And, like, what can you take away from that experience, you know? And if he, you know, and you kind of just have to read how he, like, if he's genuinely, like, I know that was it, like, I cannot see it as anything other than a mistake on his part, and how you learn from your mistakes is kind of what matters. So it's like, if he kind of comes off like he's like that goofy meme, like, I'll do it again, you know? If that's
the pink guy,
yeah, exactly. If I'll do it again, like, if he comes off that way, then I might be like, I don't know, man. You don't want to be going around with that kind of a vibe or reputation or whatever. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. So to me, it doesn't really change anything. The only thing is, if you're Vancouver and you're going to be drafting him, this isn't going to
have not a great locker room culture. And is this the guy you want?
And do you think this is going to go away? Like, do you think that people are going to, in Vancouver, like, not Vancouver fans specifically, but do you think that people are going to forget about this? Or do you think, like, with the spotlight on him for the rest of his career, like, that maybe this kind of follows him around, and if he has trouble dealing with that, Is that a problem in a place like Vancouver?
It would be, because it's a media circus there.
Maybe. I don't know the answer. Maybe.
Like, it'll be really tough.
It'll be tough. So you have to be careful. But
and some people aren't cut out for the media circus.
Yeah. I mean,
if he had case of like example, not that he did anything bad, but Mitch Marner couldn't handle it in Toronto, right? So he left, and that's his right. But it's like, now you add something else to the circus, and it becomes way more difficult.
Like, it could have been way worse too. Like, it could have been way worse. You don't know. The other thing too is, this is America. You have no idea what this person you're fighting is capable of. You have no idea what they've got on their body. You know, like, you have no idea. And so it's like, you're just putting yourself in such a risky situation. And the only thing that would have shifted my thoughts here is, like, if McKenna had physically injured himself in this situation, which, like, you know, I mean, he played games after this happened, I believe. I don't actually know. This was last week. But I mean, if he had broken his hand or like dislocated fingers or something, then I would be like, ooh, I hope he just comes back healthy, because you know, broken hands they're teeny tiny little bones, and they can take a while to get back to 100%. And I don't know about that. But in any case, it didn't seem to be that happened. So calm, and it's more psychological than physical, I would say, at this point. So yeah, if I'm Vancouver, like, I don't know, I guess you take him, but my thoughts are still exactly the same as they were 48 hours ago. Yes, Unk status achieved. I can finally be called Unk by people. Yeah, it's true. Finally, our graphic designer
Rayanne really cares about.
It's honestly like 45% of the equation is just the fact that I can be Unk to the number of Gen Z people in the community.
Hey, I'm one of them.
You're one of them. Yup. And I'm
an early one. That's the thing. Right.
And Unk status, I'll take it with honor. You know, I mean, once I saw the little guy, I just went, "Yep, I'm gonna." If you were stuck on the train tracks, I would kick you off the train tracks and eat the train for dinner. I just whatever it takes.
Train for dinner.
You know, I'd do whatever it took. You know. Not that I condone kicking babies, I should say, but if it were the case that I had to slide into home plate to get a baby out of the way of a train so that I could take the train for it, then I guess in that case, slide kicking a baby is acceptable behavior. But that's an extreme example. But I would do that. Any notes on William Sorbrand? There's people talking about this guy recently. That's weird. I mean, with Sorbrand, I've seen him. He's been mentioned on the show a few times over the last couple of weeks. And I went and watched a couple of games of him at the SHL and a game of him at the U20 level. And I mean, I think he's a guy that an NHL team will pick. He's big. He's pretty young. When he went to the SHL, he seems like he's not quite much of a difference maker there. But like, it seems like the coach went to him and gave him a job that he's capable of, which is, you know, try to keep your puck touches quick, get in shooting lanes, go to the net, and just get your butt in the way. Like, his game is just very straightforward and simple, but in a way that, sure, it could work in the NHL. I mean, he's big and goes to the net, and everything just kind of tilts in one direction with him, and it's fine. I haven't tracked any games of him. I probably will by the end of the year. I just have a big backlog from the end of last month that I still need to get through. So we'll take a look at him eventually. But just a guy where the more I watched, the more I went, yeah, like, he could be a watch list guy for now, but there are just other guys I've been more interested in that bring a little bit more of a different flavor to the game. But as a mid to late round pick, then I could see it being a thing, and maybe he's on Central Scouting's end of the year list. I'm more of an online Civ 6 guy, but EU4 is on my list to try out. I mean, EU4 is different for sure.
It is very different.
It is very different. It is a game where it's like, you kind of have to learn how to play it by playing it a lot and just messing up and going, why am I not making any money?
Why do I suck?
Why am I losing? Yeah, why do I suck at this?
Why do I suck at this game?
Why
so
is everybody
badly?
going to war with me? Like, why? You know, it's like all this stuff, because there's a lot of depth to it. It's pretty granular, whereas Civ 6 is not really that granular. It's a little more straightforward. I actually have gotten back into Civ 7 recently. I do think it's been patched and added to in a good way. Like, I think it's a lot better than it was. So I have enjoyed playing that game recently, but I'm back on the EU4 wagon and on it pretty
You're
bad.
welcome.
I know. It's bad, man.
I'm on it too, and it's bad.
Yeah,
it's
like
bad.
I'm doing a run as Venice, and I'm having too much fun. It's bad, man.
I'm doing a run as France, and I accidentally got the Big Blue Blob achievement because I got to inherit Burgundy.
Right.
And then I just was able to do it. But ever since then, like, I've conquered a lot, but I've had to slow down because of all the aggressive expansion.
Yeah.
And it's been like 100 years since then. I've conquered a lot. I have a great economy.
Right.
But it's been slow going ever since I dismantled the empire.
Of course.
Not well, you got to.
Yeah, no,
You got to dismantle the empire.
You do.
It's like,
that's after I'm done with the Ottomans. That's my next step for Venice. Is just start going north and start. I want that. I want that Roman Empire.
Reform the Rome. Oh well, the Roman Empire. You don't have to. Well, yeah,
you do go north a little from Venice.
A little bit. You do need to take Vienna for a stupid reason because there can't be the HRE.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the idea. Okay. Who's the grittiest player in the draft that could go in the first round, and why is it Gavin McKenna? Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I think you answered your question, and you got
question.
the news story to back it up. So
exactly.
I think easy.
God, man, crazy stuff. Have we all solved the Leafs problems via Baby Scouch? I actually asked him when we went the other night. He was awake. The first time I met him 2 hours after he was born, he was asleep, obviously, because you're probably pretty tired, and he had a hell of a time. But the other night we went to see him and hang out for a bit, and I asked him. I just got right in his face, obviously sanitized because new babies are prone to illness. But I got right in his face, right in his big head face, and I just went, "Buddy, the Leafs won 2 games in a row because of you. What's the secret?" And then he got the hiccups. So
and now you have the hiccups.
I did have the hiccups before the show. It's true, but. He had the we might actually I might actually nickname him Hiccup because last time I saw him before he was born, he had the hiccups while still in the womb, and feeling that was kind of hilarious. But nonetheless, we actually also
I think he has a better nickname that happens to be my nickname.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, true. But the other thing is the other nickname we do want to give him, and we want to try to make it stick, but I think mom and dad might not like it, is we want to start calling him Batman, because literally in the last hour before he was born, we were in the hospital in the waiting room and stuff, just hanging around, and a bat just starts whipping around in the waiting room, like circling and whipping around in the hospital waiting room. And we're going like, well, what the... And there's like not many people around because it was pretty late. And we're just like... It was like a weird omen of like, there's a bat in a hospital. And so one of the people I was with...
You don't want him to be Batman, because that would mean some bad things.
That's true. Yeah, like I'd rather him not like grow up an orphan like Batman did. Sure.
But he'd be super rich.
Yeah, maybe. But I think one is more important than the other.
It is. It definitely is.
Parents over child with money, But anyway, so Batman kind of stuck, and we actually alerted a security guard locally who was walking around. We're like, there's a bat ripping around in here, and we're pretty sure that like bats might carry disease, and we're in a hospital. He's like, yeah, I should probably go deal with that. So he got a butterfly net. He comes out of the hospital, or comes out of the elevator right behind us, and just goes whoosh, and catches it in one swoop, one thing. And
Awesome.
all of us just turned around and looked at this guy, and he just looked at us and went, holy shit. And we all went, yeah.
Whoa, this is a PG show. Whoa,
I know. You get
whoa.
one. It's PG-13. You get one, right? So we'll say PG-13. Not many children, I think, are watching this show. But anyway, you get the point.
Just legal children.
But the kid, yes, yeah. The kid got the hiccups when I asked about the Leafs. And so maybe it was a sign that this is like a brief hiccup, like the Leafs winning is like a brief hiccup on their pathway to despair. Like maybe that's the sign, is like it's like a like a hiccup, kind of goes up and then down again. you know? So maybe that's what we're dealing with here. I don't know. Yes, he is a 2044 draft year child. So we're going to
nuts.
We're going to get the scouting reports going. I'll be 54 that year, by the way. But we're going to get the scouting reports going probably in 2-3 years when he gets a pair of skates for Christmas. I'm going to assume he'll be on skates eventually. His whole family and we are also all skaters, so whether he likes it or not, he's going to end up on the ice, and I can't wait to destroy him in the video room in 18 years. Shout out video room, by the way. We're starting to put those out. 2 of them are out now. Another is out for subscribers. We did Porter Martone and James Hagan so far. Anton Frondel is tomorrow, so you can go watch those if you haven't already. And they're, I mean, I'm biased, but they're pretty good. Good players, fun times.
I'm gonna destroy him in the video room.
I'm gonna completely pulverize him when he's playing for a single A team in wherever they're living at that point, hockey league. I don't know. The kids are calling it cuz these days. I'm not cuz though, I guess. Like, I mean, I guess I am to the younger generation cousin that I have, but I am unk, right? I mean, I'm old, so I don't know the terminology anymore, but I've gotten unk before many times, and now
this is your sibling's child.
Yes.
So you are unk. It is as simple as that.
It's true. Yeah. Tanner House finally starting to start his pro career. Oh, very nice. What did you think about him in his draft year? I mean, I liked him. He was in my early second round, I think.
Will's lying. Will doesn't like anybody.
That's not true. I like you. Sometimes.
Exactly.
There's people. But yeah, I mean, I remember him quite well, actually. Like, he seemed like a guy who seemed like a very well-balanced, physical, sort of complimentary guy. I mean, he's a pretty high-energy, competitive player. It doesn't surprise me Pittsburgh drafted him. Most people I spoke to agreed on the fact that he's probably a third-line projectable guy that could play up your lineup if you needed him to, but over a long period of time in the NHL on a team that's competitive, might be more of a middle six, but probably third line winger. But I mean, I did watch a bit of him last year with Calgary. I think he was with Calgary last year. Last time I saw him play, he was with Calgary, and I thought he was looking really, really good. Like, his skating has improved. His sort of confidence with the puck and sort of attacking the scoring areas a little bit more. It's a little bit better than it was. So I could see maybe a little bit more there with more experience, but in terms of like the floor of his game, I think it's relatively projectable, and the NHL doesn't seem out of the question as a bottom six, third line winger that just kind of eats some good minutes and plays off of other guys really well. Brian Burke would definitely draft McKenna now. I mean, maybe, I guess. Still, I don't know. Like, it's still a very dumb, very dumb thing to do. I don't know. I mean, imagine this was Nail Yakupov, right? Like, imagine Nail Yakupov.
Well, he already hated Nail Yakupov.
Exactly.
So.
Like, imagine he got in a bar fight in his draft year in Sarnia, right? Do you think people would be like, yeah, way to go, Nail Yakupov? Like, no, I don't think so at all. I think people would be like, this kid's got problems, man. What the hell? So you gotta be careful. But again, like, Brian Burke also said he hated Nail Yakupov because of how he came off in interviews. And so I'm going to fall back on that again. I also agree. It takes a special kind of stupid to harass a pro athlete's mom at a bar with the entire team there. It is very stupid, but I don't think it justifies, getting your jaw broken over. Like, I don't think that's a controversial take. Otherwise, a lot of people would be getting in a lot of fights about a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Oh boy. I mean, if that's the world you want to live in, fine. But if I have kids, I'm raising them to go, you're never going to see this person ever again in your life, and you're going to forget about them in a day or whatever. But now you got to deal with them for probably like years now. This is probably going to take time to get over or sort out. I agree though. McKenna might not be the enforcer we needed, but we wanted, but he's the one we needed. Yeah, true. Apart from being possibly the most fun name against draft eligible players, what do you know about Ollie Walrus from TPS? Is that the little guy That name rings a bell. Ollie Walrus. Yeah, I think he was on the Hlinka team, and right, he's not that little. What number did he wear on the Hlinka team? I'll know when I see it. But it rings a bell. He was definitely fun to watch. I remember that. Walrus. Number 21. All right, let me check my Who Linka is good page. Who Linka is fun on this here. 21. Oh no, I didn't note him very much. Well, there you go. There's your answer. I don't know. I'll check him out because I always do. Is he playing in Liga now? In Liga? No, he's not. Okay. In Liga, they. Oh boy.
What do they do?
Do you know, in Liga they have rinks that are all different sizes, and let's move on.
You making fun of our resident Finn?
Not making fun of him. I just love the accent. It's really fun.
It is really fun.
Yeah,
I will not disagree with that.
Thoughts on Anthony Uronen?
Well, he's not Gavin McKenna, so we don't care.
Yeah, we're exclusively talking about Gavin McKenna today. Anthony Uronen. I mean, I did a game of his brother, and I thought he was okay, but I haven't gotten to Anthony yet. So I'll check him out. I'll add him to the list here. I've got a watch list that I do go through. I promise. So he's in there now, but I'll check him out. I did his brother, and he wasn't amazing, I don't think. But he was, I don't know. Defenseman who can skate okay. I've seen Anthony, but I can't give you a good answer, unfortunately. Third line grinders have generational ammunition now. Exactly, yeah. Artemi Panarin trade thoughts. You think Liam Greentree has a solid chance of cracking the Rangers next year in his ceiling or floor? I would not be surprised to see Greentree maybe not make the Rangers. I think I think Artemi Panarin, like, it really seems like a lot of people are clowning on the trade, but it really seems like Panarin did not give the Rangers much of a choice here. Like, he wanted to go somewhere where he was willing to extend, and it seemed like a bunch of places actually had decent offers on the table, and he said that he wouldn't extend there, and so he wouldn't accept the trade. So for LA, like, it's a great deal for LA, I think, because I don't think they paid very much to get him overall, like a mid-round pick that they might not even have to give up, and Liam Greentree, like a late first-round draft pick who is an interesting player, but like I think there are reasons why he was like a spare forward for the World Junior team. At the end of the day, though, I don't know. Like, I don't think he's an NHLer next year. I think he's going to be a guy that takes time to find his way to the NHL. I wouldn't have any reason to rush him. But I also feel like, you gave up your top scorer. Your team is probably going to go in the toilet because you don't have him anymore. And you got what might be a middle six winger who can score. Like, I think he's a guy who you'll need to surround with other types of players to make it work. But if it works as a complementary offensive sort of playmaking type, then I can definitely see a pathway there. For LA, though, like, you won. You got Artemi Panarin and you extended him for 2 years at $11 million. Like, that's the perfect trade, like the perfect deal, like, I wouldn't want to extend Panarin for 7 or 8 years, I don't think, but for 2 years at less money than teams are paying a lot of high scoring players this year, I know I would make that deal for the next couple of years and see where it goes. Because even if it is a disaster, it's only 2 seasons, so it's not the end of the world, and you don't have to worry about extending him in the summer. You can focus on other things. So I think it's the type of player the Kings have also really needed. They do probably need a lot more of that sort of skill infusion, that playmaking ability, that high-end offense. And I think that they've added a really good part of the team. I think it's a good deal. The Rangers, it just screams they were backed into a corner and just said, we can't take nothing, but, and the Kings just I think sold high on Greentree. I like Greentree, but yeah, I would definitely trade Greentree for Panarin and a good extension on Panarin as well. To be fair, big difference between on-ice chirps and in-person harassing of your mom. Yeah, no, but like, no, I don't think
you could still get got in any of those situations.
And also like, is that what we are? Is that what we're doing? Like, if I don't know, like maybe I'm just like a loser. Well, maybe I am, but like if I'm out,
nobody debates that.
If I'm with my parents,
not for anything.
If I'm with my parents and someone sasses my mom, does that give me license to go over there and beat the crap out of them? Why? Like, why do I get the right to do that? Like, just because they insulted a person? Like,
I mean, I've done that with my brother, but some kid hit him first, and I was 5.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You were 5.
I was 5.
And there was a physical altercation that you got involved in. Like, it's just, again, like, it's a cost benefit, right? What are you doing? You're a big tough guy. You send the message, don't speak ill about my mom. But like, what did you get in return? A massive news story, a huge, even bigger magnifying glass on you, like a multi-year probably legal battle or whatever. You're already out a ton of money for getting yourself out of the county jail. Like, you're going to have to pay lawyers and this person. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, it doesn't, like, if anything, it's worse to do it in that situation than on the ice. Like, if Gavin McKenna gets chirped on the ice and drops a guy and breaks his jaw, nobody bats an eye. Nobody cares. But, like, in private, like, it just doesn't, like, it just was weird to me. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I don't know. Maybe my mom will see this and go, how dare you not stand up and beat the shit out of a stranger. Sorry, that's 2.
Oh, you got your set. That's your second.
That's 2.
Now.
That's 2 strikes. But like, how dare you not get up and beat someone else up on my behalf because this random stranger called me something derogatory? It's like, I mean, it just seems very immature. So that's my whole thing. Is it just seems very immature. So again, I'm not gonna like point the finger at a 17, 18-year-old and go, you're an idiot. Like, I'm not doing that. It's just a matter of like how he handles it and talking to him about it and being forthright and upfront and all that stuff. I think it's like, that's the adult way to handle it. But whatever, I don't know, to each their own, right? Like, if you're more comfortable in that line of thinking and you want to feel like it's right to end up arrested and thrown in a jail and charged with felonies and stuff because someone said words, then be my guest, man. But I'm gonna stay eligible to vote. I think I'd rather stay eligible to vote. Will GMs think of him as a Kadri? No, because Nazem Kadri, like, GMs hated Nazem Kadri like for a really long time. Don Cherry called him fat. Like Nazem Kadri was not a darling for a long time, like he even in Toronto, like he was doing, it's not the same scenario. I don't think they see them as similar at all. Like Kadri ended up with I don't know, but regardless, with Kadri, it was also evident on the ice with how he played that he had this like physical edge to him, and I would absolutely not categorize Gavin McKenna in the same way at all. If you think that the behavior that he displayed in a bar while drinking underage and as a child is a projection into how he can play in the NHL, I'm sorry. I think you're wildly mistaken, because that's just not really how he plays. And honestly, I'm not interested in him if that's how he plays, because his hands are his moneymaker. This is how he makes his money. Do not put these in danger. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, it's like Jamie Lee Curtis's, it was famous. She had famously insured legs in the 80s. And it's like, so what if Jamie Lee Curtis all of a sudden like started doing kickboxing and like fighting in a kickboxing ring? It's like, are you stupid? Like, what are you do? Like, bad choice. Probably a bad life choice, especially if you get injured. Anyway, whatever. Did you make any more progress on your EU Geek 4 game from yesterday? Well, I heard mouse clicking and keyboard clicking before this, so I'm assuming the answer to that is yes. So you probably did, right?
What, me?
Yeah, you. Make progress
the
since
France
yesterday.
game?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. You've been up all night, probably.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I have to look, I have a full-time job now, and I've realized that I have responsibilities that I must actually do. And part of that is getting good sleep so I can do that job.
Yeah. Yeah. How much do you think falls on us and the media and so on? 0. I'm sorry, but like, welcome to the show, kid.
In what sense?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on in what sense, but like, welcome to the show, man. This is not the last time people are going to be paying attention to you forever, especially if you go to a place like Chicago or Vancouver or whatever. Like, people are going to know who you are, and you're going to be responsible for your own behavior. like, I'm sorry. And look, I mean, I don't know. We made a joke about this before the show, but like, if my questioning his hegemony on first overall this year is what has melted into people's brains and somehow trickled into his, that he's, not impenetrable, and that's got him to the. I'm not saying that's what's happening. It's almost a joke, but like. Then I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what to tell you. Then that's problematic if it's not a joke, but it is, we're joking around. I don't think anybody, like, again, if that's the case, then you have a problem, right? Like, I think if that's the case, then it's not what have we done thing. It's like, well, wait a minute. Like, we didn't really do much. Like, nobody has said anything that would, nobody is involved in that type of thing. So I don't know. I don't think it falls I don't think anything. I think it falls entirely on the people involved directly, like him and the person who rage baited him and got their jaw broken. Would you rather have a top 5 pick in last year's draft or 2 in the top 10 this year? I mean, if I could get a Matthew Schaefer, I would love to have a Matthew Schaefer, but
you probably don't statistically.
You probably don't, right? Like, yeah, you have a 20% chance. If it's not Schaefer, then I take 2 top 10 picks this year for sure. Why is Keaton Verhoff ranked so low on your rankings? I have him top 3. That's why, because you have him at 3. That's why. I saw you had him there, and I put him lower just for you.
Just to punish you.
Just to punish you and call you dumb. No, I mean, look, I like him. I like Keaton Verhoff a lot. And this is why I don't like doing numerical rankings. Like, if you wanted him at 4 or even 3 on my list or 2, I could see the argument. I don't know. Like, I'm just one guy and I have other guys prioritized ahead of him. And I just think about like the discussion that we had this discussion yesterday actually, but it's like when you look back in the draft at all of the defensemen who get drafted really, 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 really high, who are the ones that end up the most successful in the NHL relatively reliably, that are worth drafting that high? Because more often than not, it's not usually the defensemen that play like Keaton Verhoff, or even it's very much the Villeneuves of the world. It's the Cale Makars, it's the Quinn Hughes, it's the, Evan Bouchard even, right? Like, it's all of these guys who are just offense, and driven by their skating ability. And with Verhoff, I mean, I think he's a very good defenseman. I think he's a good offensive defenseman. But the way in which he generates his offense and the way in which he sort of, just in general, has an impact on the game, it's really hit or miss. I think he has come a ways this year. And again, the problem with this draft is like, once you get past the top 10, it's January and I still don't know what I think about a lot of these guys relative to one another. Like, I'll go through all these guys back to back and come away with a certain impression. Then I'll do the exact same thing a week later and come back with a completely different impression. Like, I think that it is pretty clear that this draft you're going to look back on in 5 years and go, there were a lot of really interesting players at the top, and maybe some don't score as much as others, but they've become very important players for the teams they play on, right? And so it's really hard at the time to sort of poke through it and go, okay, like, this is definitely where X, I definitely want a Matthew Schaefer or a Michael Misa ahead of the rest of the pack. It's not as simple as that. I still think Stenberg is pretty clearly right now for me the guy that I would take first. But look, if you believe in the upside in Verhoff and the long-term trajectory, I get that too. I'm one guy with my own opinion, but I think it would be foolish to go, how could you not possibly have this with this draft class? Like, I think it's a discussion, and it's a matter of your priorities, what you value. And with regards to Verhoff, I think he could be a very good two-way sort of minutes-eating defenseman that does a lot of stuff well, but I think he needs some time. And I think there are some other guys that when I watch them, I think they have comparable size, they have comparable skill level, they have, I think, a better set of feet under them, like more mobile, more fluid. A lot of it comes down to, one, the rise of Gustafsson, the rise of Viggo Bjork, my faith in Tynan Lawrence and Mathis Preston also. Albert Smits. I'd say between Smits, Villeneuve, and Verhoff and Gustafsson, I don't know, man. Even Lawrence, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta play the I don't have certainty card, and I think certainty, you're not watching as much as these other guys, right? And seeing what they bring to the game. Because there's a lot there too. And look, we'll see Smits at the Olympics, and that's going to be really, really fun. I'll be curious how he plays there. But I've got time for him in that spot. I got time for him a little bit lower. I've got time for Verhoff higher. I don't know. But it's all your fault, basically, is what I'm saying. I love that everybody says 100% that he won't serve any jail time. Yeah, he won't. You think Terry Pagula and all of his billions of dollars is going to let a $750,000 investment just go to jail or like be suspended? This is America. Like I said, he'll either be scot-free or pay the guy off or given probation or something, even though in this day and age, being an immigrant in America and committing a crime is apparently enough to be sent to a third party country that you have no relation to whatsoever, so whatever. But things are a little bit different for a person like McKenna. And yeah, look, I it's not going to happen. I'd be very shocked. It just makes sense. Like, if anything, they'll make an agreement on maybe taking the felony off the thing and just going, maybe we can find a way to weasel out of this one. Because in any case, I don't think Terry Pagula and all of his money and Penn State and all of its money are going to sort of sit idly by and let the NCAA or whatever, or the legal system, get in the way of a good time. I just don't think it's going to happen. Why are people comparing Hurlburt to Kindle? I kind of get it, but don't really. I don't know. I saw that online, and look, the person in question is one of my favorite Twitter accounts, but if you pull probably a random sample of 100 of their tweets over the years, half of them you're going to go, what the hell is this person talking about? I don't see Kindle and Hurlburt at all. I think Hurlburt's more skilled for sure, but Kindle is a ruthless tactician with endless offensive data farming. Like, his offensive transition game was excellent. Hurlburt's is not. Hurlburt's playmaking is very good, but it's very sparse. Kindle was making stuff happen everywhere all of the time. Off the puck, I would say, like, physically, they both have similar issues in that regard, but I believe in Kindle a lot more than I believe in Hurlburt. I have not had the same vibe watching those two players at all. If anything, Hurlburt kind of reminds me of the fears people had about Kindle last year, but turned up. So maybe in that sense they're similar, but I don't think they're a similar case in reality. It's so funny. It's so funny when Terry Pagula pays for his lawyers. Exactly. He's a billionaire. If you're a billionaire in America, pretty much you get whatever you want, right? So, it's just the way she's going to go. Were you able to get them to name the baby Brad? No, I was not. I didn't advocate for any names in particular. It's probably a good thing they're not named Brad.
That baby would have a Brad time.
Yes. Yeah, in the U.S. litigation culture, it'll settle outside of court for a large amount of money. Exactly. Like they'll make it go away. It's just the way this works, right? You just make it go away. We've all seen that very publicly over the last little while, for sure. You can just make stuff just go away if you want them to. Could you look at the bottom 5 teams in the NHL and do a mini mock draft? Yeah, sure. Let's see. Tankathon. So what do we got here? We got Vancouver, St. Louis, New York Rangers, Calgary, Winnipeg. Well, I'll tell you this much. If I'm Vancouver, I mean, oof. The idea of an Ivar Stenberg sharing ice with Jonathan Lekkerimäki is very intriguing to me. Like if you want someone teeing up Lekkerimäki all game long or teeing up Elias Pettersson or something like that and doing so probably next year, I could see that happening. I might lean Stenberg there. St. Louis with McKenna is a very interesting proposition. I didn't realize they were that bad. I mean, that's a team that I think, we'll see what happens with Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou over the next little while, but that's a team that I think you might actually see a good fit there. They've got a lot of young guys on the table. I mean, McKenna's setting up a Justin Carbonneau. You could definitely mask a lot of issues that Carbonneau has in his game if you got Gavin McKenna setting him up all game. One day, maybe not immediately, but one day. I think that could work, and I would say that St. Louis could make sense. The Rangers, I guess Verhoff, that would make sense to me. The Rangers taking Verhoff would make sense. Calgary is interesting. I mean, Calgary to me strikes me as, it's unlikely at this point because of people jumping off the bus already, but Ty Lawrence is kind of exactly what they've needed, I think, in their system. They've got a lot of guys who can score. They've got a lot of guys who can finish. They don't have a lot of guys who can drive play in their system. They drafted Potter. Reshny, I would argue, can do that as well, but I have a lot more faith in a guy like Lawrence, but Reshny is not a bad player either. But I would say Lawrence, if not Lawrence, I don't know. If Villeneuve's off, or if Verhoff is off the board, maybe you see them go. I really think people are going to come up on Malte Gustafsson before the end of the year. And a guy like that, at that age, playing as much as he's been in the SHL with good results there, and doing so with a really good set of feet under him, really good hands, he's gotten a lot more comfortable. I wouldn't be surprised to see a smart team like Calgary, a smart scouting staff like Calgary, see the value in that. So maybe that. And Winnipeg, I mean, the easy answer for Winnipeg is Albert Smits because he's playing in Finland, and Winnipeg loves to draft out of Scandinavia, and so maybe that is the case. And I could see Smits being an interesting addition in Winnipeg with the defensemen, like guys like Frey in there as well, Salomonson. So maybe a guy like Smits makes sense, or maybe Viggo Bjork. But I think teams will probably default to the bigger, more mature, projectable player, especially if they're defensemen. So something like that, maybe Stenberg, McKenna, Verhoff, Lawrence, or Gustafsson and Smits, something like that. I don't know. Still pretty early. In the draft, you never ever give the GMs a reason to pass on you. Well, I mean, it seems like people are finding this as a reason to actually draft him, which, if that's what you believe, then that's what you believe. It's just, I hope you, I hope you give the same. I mean, I've heard stuff about players over the years, and it has caused them to plummet in the NHL draft, and none of it is the same as a felony. So, I just hope you apply the same criticism to other players from other places in the future if they get into similar trouble. I don't know. Just seems awfully convenient. Penguins currently have the 23rd overall pick. Do you see this as prime Dubas moving back in the draft territory, or do you see it trying to fill a hole in the pool with a higher value player? I mean, it depends on who's available there. I see a couple of guys that Pittsburgh could jump the gun on and just draft because they have Wes Clark, and Wes Clark is the smartest guy in the world, apparently. And so maybe they're going to try to outthink everybody and go for a guy like a Jack Hextall or a Wyatt. Like, Wyatt Cullen's dad works for the team. He played with the Penguins forever. Wyatt Cullen plays like a Dubas type player. His whole story just screams Kyle Dubas. and I bet they would value him quite a lot if I'm looking up the up and down the list here. So I feel like at 23, they're going to have a pretty good chance to take someone that they would really, 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 really like. And I don't think this is a draft where if I'm later than 23, I'm super keen on moving up based on how the chips are falling so far. So maybe if I'm Dubas, I wait and see who's there. And there are definitely players available who I think will be available there that he would definitely jump at. Would you pay a starting pitcher $32 million for a year? For context, his team wanted to sign him for $19 million, but I don't know what that means. Is the starting pitcher good? I don't know.
No, he sucks.
I think this is in regards to Panarin, and so, I mean, like with Panarin, I don't know what else you could want, right? Like I wouldn't want to commit to Panarin 7 years, so giving him 2 years and paying him like a lot less than like a Mitch Marner or William Nylander or whatever, and getting a couple of years of that guy, even if it doesn't work out, you're fine. But the Kings need a guy like him, and him playing with like a Quinton Byfield next year sounds gross. Like that sounds pretty good. Or an Adrian Kempe on his line. Like Panarin, Kempe might score 50 goals next year. You know, like you got a guy like Panarin on the ice with you. He's got to have someone to set up. And they got a couple of good options.
I like the idea of Quinton Byfield centering him.
Yeah.
They could have had that in New York.
Yeah.
Not saying that we were all advocating for that at the time, but now we can see that.
Yep.
Potentially.
Yep.
Which I think is cool.
Yep. Exactly. If you so if this kid is Batman, would I become Alfred? Probably, honestly. Like I've got the unk energy, right? Apparently.
Well, my name is Alfredo.
Right.
Funny enough.
Yeah. I mean, Bill. I could be Bill. Batman
Butler,
and Bill the Butler.
Oh boy.
Maybe that. It seems like a pretty decent way to go. Oh, that's a good thing. If we didn't want to say the SHIT word, we could just say sugar honey iced tea. That's exactly it. We could just do that. The difference between PG-13 and R is the one is the word, the other is the word you. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, good to know.
No, I'm just gonna do what Mr. Mackey says. Say poo.
Yeah. I remember when Tanner Howe was known for his one-timer on the power play in the WHL. He was never used for his one-timer on the power play at the World Juniors. Well, that's because maybe Hockey Canada is just too smart, and they go, well, teams are going to expect that, so let's put Andrew Gibson on the power play for a one-timer. Let's do that instead.
Yeah, that's definitely the reason.
I'm betting my house on...
Don't do that.
Don't bet your house on Bitcoin, sir. Please do not. It reminds me, the whole thing, again, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a finance geek. It is a hobby. It's something I kind of do for fun, and I'm having a bad time. Not as bad as what it seems like a lot of other people are having, thankfully, which is really nice. But luckily I don't own any Bitcoin. I used to back in 2013, and I'm really annoyed that I was poor in 2013 and sold it when I doubled my money in a month. This is crazy. I'm selling this, and I probably would have like now maybe 125 grand, something like that.
Yeah, but don't feel bad about that.
I don't feel bad, but it's like
a decision
wow.
that honestly, how are you supposed
I had to pay
to
for
know
school,
that,
man.
how are you supposed to know that was gonna like
right?
That asset was going to be as valuable as it was.
I mean,
and you doubled your money.
Like, I did, yeah. No, it's fine.
I'm not like your money.
I'm not mad, but it is like man, I was in on this so fast, and I underestimated the world's greed and like stupidity. Like because like, look, Bitcoin, I had it reminds me of a conversation I had with actually the father of this new child a few years ago. We were actually sitting on the couch over there, and he was asking me about like Rivian, the company that makes the electric trucks, and he's like, oh, like it was when Rivian kind of recently went public and they were sort of plummeting it a little bit and all that stuff, and he goes like, when would you buy into that company? And I was like, I probably wouldn't. And he's like, but even if it was like $1, would you buy in? I was like, I probably wouldn't. Like because the fundamentals behind it don't make any sense. Like it's like maybe if it was $1, I would look at it, but it's still a company that barely makes any money. At the time, it barely made any money, and they burned like billions of dollars a year. So it's like you're hoping that a lot goes right. And so it's like with Bitcoin, it's even worse than that, because it's like, well, what do you every time I think about buying Bitcoin, it's like, why am I buying it? Literally because it's going down. You're buying, like, there's nothing out there is really explaining what it is and what it's used for and how it's like everybody said, oh, it's a hedge against the US dollar. No, it's not. Because it just follows the stock market. If anything, it leads the stock market a little bit. Like it's a stock.
It's decentralized, bro. The government doesn't have my money, bro.
Even though the government now has their own cryptocurrencies, like
Trump coin.
Yeah, we now have a world where the cryptocurrency world is now literally the government. Like, so what are we doing? What are we doing here? You know, I have time for the stablecoin argument. I have time for that, but it also seems like a solution in search of a problem, right? Like, we did just fine tracking stuff and monitoring stuff when we didn't have Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And so stablecoins, it kind of makes sense as like a bookkeeping thing, or like a money laundering thing. Mm-hmm. But Tether is the company that started the stablecoin thing. They are one of the most criminal enterprises out there right now. They are ridiculous. So it's like, it's not good. I wouldn't touch it. Just look, the best advice that I've gotten from a lot of different people is, don't think you're smarter than everybody, and just stick your money in an index fund and maybe
stay
some
away
bonds.
From crypto.
Yeah, stay away from cryptocurrency.
Unless you want to end up on a CoffeeZilla video, right, as being interviewed,
a victim,
or
yeah.
Like either one. You know, he'll find you.
You're buttering yourself up for exit liquidity. You're someone else's exit, right? Like, that's the thing. And at the end of the day, look, it's your money. You get to do with it whatever you want. This is financial advice. Like, just don't buy Bitcoin and just keep it slow. Get rich slowly is the phrase that everybody says, right? Take your time, you know, have good idea of what your risk tolerance is.
But I want to be rich now.
Of course.
Now.
You know, of course. I had a business that I was looking at putting some money into the other day, and they did their earnings the other day, and they jumped 35% overnight. And I'm going, I am an idiot. But then it's like, at the same time, 2 days later, they lost half that gain, you know, and who knows what's coming after that. But like, at the end of the day, take your time. And I know you were probably asking this in jest, but I mean, look, it's and also in a situation like this with Bitcoin, it's a positive feedback loop, right? Like, a big thing that fueled this was like ETFs existing. Like, now you have cryptocurrency ETFs, and so there's other ways to invest in Bitcoin that artificially drives the price higher. And once those start to unwind, you know, like MicroStrategy is now underwater on their Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is below the average price that they've paid for their Bitcoin, and all they basically have is Bitcoin. And so it's all like unwinding downwards because it's not profitable anymore. So it's like you're either holding the bag or you're getting out, it seems. So I don't know what happens. It doesn't really add up to me. Maybe it'll have its recovery at some point, but I don't like the idea of putting my money somewhere where I go, I don't know what I'm buying. Like, I know it's Bitcoin, but I don't know where does my money go? What am I doing with this? It's not a thing. Like, at least if I'm buying shares in a company, I can go, all right, I know, because this company does reporting that is regulated and audited. It's like, I know exactly what I'm buying. I know exactly what they do. I know exactly all this stuff. It's all tangible. So I know where I'm putting my money. I don't know. It's very strange.
What, Will, you don't want to accompany us on our journey safely to the moon?
Well, SpaceX is going public soon, so there's that.
No,
too.
I'm making fun of Safe
liquidity.
Moon. I'm making fun of Safe Moon.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
Freaking Safe Moon, man.
Do you have any thoughts on Blackhawks 2023 second rounder Roman Kanserov? He's having a huge breakout year in the KHL at 21. It's fun. He's having a great time.
Fun.
It's fun. I look, the KHL.
Will doesn't believe it, is what he's trying to tell you.
Well, I think Kanserov is a guy who is going to have trouble in the NHL. He is small. I don't think he's got the physical tools to really sort of, stick as a top 6 guy that scores a ton in the NHL. I see him in a similar vein as like a Nick Lardis, where it's like it's not impossible, and there's definitely things about his game that are interesting, but I am not holding my breath for long-term like top 6 success without a really good supporting cast around them. I just look at Kanserov and go, the KHL has lost now, I believe it's half of the imports they've had since 2022, and those imports were often the best players in the league, especially defense. Like, everybody clowns on Russian defensemen for years and years and years and years and years. So when all that's left is a bunch of Russian defensemen across way too many teams in that league, it's a lot easier for a guy who has more skill and more finishing ability to score. I love Alexander Zhuravsky. I'm not thinking he's a massive steal 8 months after he's drafted because he's shooting the lights out in the KHL. Like, the KHL is not what it was. Still a very good league, and it's very fun. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but
your favorite player sucks.
I am
Will's
never
right.
I am never going to get overexcited about a player until I see them in the NHL if I'm a fan of a team. Because, like, the NHL's so friggin' hard. It's so fast. It's so physical. It's so, well, unless you're playing the Leafs, but it's so fast. It's it's so fast and so physical in the goaltending. Even though the goaltending is historically bad, they're still extremely good goaltenders. And it's tough to do well long term. So is it possible? Yes, I think Kanserov has tools that could work, but I think it's going to be a matter of like who he plays with and taking your time. I also believe his shooting percentage is like ridiculously high this year. So we'll see. But the KHL is not what it was. It not what it was a little while ago.
Quite slow at times.
Yeah.
Hypothetical. What league do you think is the best league outside the NHL?
Will? I think Sweden, the SHL.
Over the AHL.
Oh, I mean, if we're talking like prepping for the NHL, it's probably the AHL. But in terms of like overall quality and like developmental place to play, the SHL is just it's so fast and so intense. Like, there's no time to think ever, which is unlike any league out there, really. Certainly.
Fabian bust.
He's just a bad person, I think. I guess that's it. He's just a bad person. That would do it.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to like totally. No. I just wanted to have a funny time, fun joke.
How dare you?
That got sad real quick, even for me.
Hypothetical fantasy hockey trade. Would you trade Nazar and Zeev Buyam for Simashev and Hagens? No. I would keep Nazar and Zeev Buyam for sure. You're not going to get production out of Simashev, and Hagens is a mystery box in terms of offense in the NHL. Nazar and Zeev, you have known quantities, and I think they're both going to be decent producers.
You already have there's no way anybody else is playing top power play in Vancouver at this moment.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure of that.
Yeah.
But there is no way that, at least there shouldn't be any way that anybody else is doing that. Oh, he's not.
Oh.
But is he hurt?
Yes, I believe he is.
Okay.
I believe. Paying a 34-year-old who could drop off next season.
I'm not.
What?
Is he actually? Like, I can't even.
Oh, I don't know.
See him on this. Maybe the Canucks are just that bad. But I'm also looking at this very quickly.
Paying a 34-year-old who could drop off next season, $11 million is risky. It's 2 years, and LA has a ton of cap space. Like, they're going for it, man. And Panarin, he has he's on pace for 90 points this year or something. Like, he doesn't play a game that's like, oh, he has hard miles on him. He could physically just break at any point. Like, Panarin's been a guy who has, played almost a full season pretty much every year since the pandemic. Played 42 games in the pandemic year, like during the pandemic.
Oh, okay. He is on IR.
Oh, okay. There you go. But 75 games, 82, 82, 80, and he's on pace for 79. He's on pace for 87 points this year. Like, if you pay a late first round draft pick and a third round pick maybe for that, and you pay not the most amount of money in the league for a winger who can score like that for 2 seasons, I don't think there's any risk there at all. Like, I don't think there's any risk. Even if he regresses to a 60-point guy, it's only 2 years, right? Like, and you still added 60 points to your roster in return for a guy who probably won't be in the NHL next year or maybe even the year after that. So, like, if you want to go for it with Anze Kopitar before he rides off into the sunset, and you want to still have some skill lying around later on, I see absolutely no downside to what Ken Holland did here. You know, I see none.
Going back to the fantasy trade, yeah, like, and Nazar is also like pretty well established now, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I haven't been following the NHL a tremendous amount this year, but he's been like, what kind of point pace is he on? Just because I'm curious now. But like, you're not getting like Zeev, I think, is the highest upside, like easily the highest upside defender. Now Hagens could end up being more productive than. Okay, wow, he's only got 24 points in 41 games. Wow, he sucks. It's as simple as that. Never mind. I don't know. I still think you stick with Zeev, the Zeev side of the equation, but we'll see. It's not like a terrible trade by any means, but I would hold.
Anyone ask why mom is underage drinking with her son in a U.S. bar? Well, I mean, it's entirely possible she didn't know, right? Like, it's possible, theoretically. But, I mean, kinda, yeah. Like, I don't know. I know my mom pretty well, and I feel like going out to a bar with her when I was a child and her condoning, like, getting drunk, I don't know. I don't think she would do that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll call her maybe later and ask her. But no.
Will needs confirmation from his mom.
My parents were pretty laid back, but they weren't like get drunk with your child when they're young and underage style.
Kind of laid back.
They're not like that. And when there were parents like that at the school I went to, their kids usually were gigantic pieces of garbage. I'm not saying that's McKenna, but when I went to a high school with a lot of rich white kids, and McKenna's obviously not all 100, like, he's not fully white. He is an indigenous Canadian, but you know, you get what I'm saying. I went to school with about a lot of rich people, and the parents of the kids who were really awful, who are probably working on Bay Street right now, they were the more laid-back ones who were very rarely around or cared about much. Just putting that out there. So, you know, whatever. But, again, all that matters is him, and all that matters is the interview with him and how he comes off and all that stuff. That's all that matters to me. In which areas have you seen Suvanto improve? What would you like to see from him through the back half? I mean, I think he's gotten a little bit more fluid on his feet and a little lighter on his feet than he was at the beginning of the year. I mean, I would like to see a little bit more like puck protection on the rush. Like, he seems to get caught up on really quickly, you know, by opposing forecheckers or opposing defenders, and he ends up having to like improvise relatively quickly, which is always a little bit sketchy to me. But I do think he's one of these guys that, you know, do I see him as anything more than a very, very, very good third line center in the NHL who can sort of insulate the puck and insulate the team and eat some minutes and play off of some skilled players? Well, yeah, sure. I mean, that seems like something that he could be. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But the biggest area that I would want to see an improvement is definitely like keeping that sort of that lightness on his feet up and combining that like playmaking ability he's got with the sort of puck protection and that lightness in conjunction. AJ, I'm going to have to ask you to carry the show for a few minutes. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I feel like I'm going to die. So talk about whatever you want, EU4, whatever. Sure. I'll be back in 60 seconds.
The stream chat then, because I've been a bad boy.
Okay,
so
well, go do it. Fill time for 90 seconds. I'll be back.
Sure. Do what you need. So what's going on, everybody? It's your favorite producer now, and I've now reached the chat. So hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here and also fill time. I'm doing an excellent job, as my college taught me. Just say words until you run out of them, but never run out of them. So yeah, let me see what's going on here. Missed it. AJ, did you make any? Yeah, read through that. Yes. Just gonna try and find our spot in the chat here, but also feel free to ask me some questions about myself, about Will. We can talk bad about him. Oh, okay, here we go. Day 1089 of asking AJ when LaSalle is breaking out. I don't know. I want it to be soon, but I don't know, man. It would be amazing if it was in the near future, but I can't say that it will be. Anyone? Yeah. Okay. Custom sponsorships. Needs to work on his verbal comebacks. That's in reference to Gavin McKenna. All right. Maybe that's how you fight. You fight with words. Okay. I can't really. Oh, who has more upside, Casper or Danielson? Now, I know from, like, I'm not the most familiar with Marco Casper, but I was never a massive fan of Nate Danielson, and I feel like Will might say the same. But I'm not going to be able to, like, give a massively detailed analysis on it. From what I remember, I was not a big Nate Danielson guy, and Marco Casper is a solid middle six guy. So I would lean Casper. Will, are you back?
It sounds like back. You might be back. I have returned. I waddled my way back here.
Oh, lovely. The question I got to was who has more upside, Marco Casper or Nate Danielson? And
probably Casper, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Probably. Have you watched much of Eric Nilsson this year? Still high on him? A little bit, and yes. Again, like, Nilsson is a guy who
it's also 1 year, right? It's not even been 1 year.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, you're not going to find me jumping off the wagon on guys 6 months after they're drafted.
Maybe 6 years.
Maybe 6 years, yeah.
But like, I don't think Will's ever getting off the Brad Lambert train, let's be real. Same way I'm never getting off the LaSalle train.
Who was it yesterday in the Discord who looked at Manitoba's top scorers last year, and he said their top scorer had like 27 points last year?
Oh, it was 37, right?
37 points. Like,
and Brad Lambert was third with 34.
Yeah, like, I don't care who you are, but that's an awful situation to be in. So
beyond awful.
So yeah, like,
you're in Manitoba. Yeah, that is beyond awful.
Ooh. But I mean, look, with Eric Nilsson, like, he's playing on their third line on the best college team in the country. And watching him, like, again, Eric Nilsson is a very, very, very good example of the type of player that I like, that I think a lot of people don't value a lot. Like, he is a competitive center who is not the biggest guy in the world, but certainly plays like he's big and is physical, but also has some good skill, sees the ice really well, works off of line mates really, really well. And so for me, it's like, he's a guy that I think just will get better and better and better as time goes on, as opposed to, like, oh my God, they need to be a superstar immediately in the NCAA, or else I'm gonna jump off a bridge. Like, we're not talking like that. Like, he's in a limited role on a team that is filled with high end talent. So I would expect him to just keep moving up the lineup over time, but for me, it's like, he's not a guy that I think is a huge power play threat, so that takes away a lot of his offensive potential in terms of production. So it's like, at the end of the day, though, you're drafting him for his 5-on-5 impact, and that's hard always, not always easy to capture just by looking at points. I still really like him. I thought he was really good at the World Junior, and he can come back next year, and I expect him to be a pretty major part of that Swedish team next year. Thoughts on the Canucks prospect pool? No. I'm refusing.
No, that's amazing.
No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I mean, the Canucks are doing fine in terms of drafting and all that stuff here and there. I do really, I think Willander, I've seen a bit of the Canucks recently, and I think Tom Willander is starting to really look more comfortable and and more intriguing as an NHL defenseman now. Braden Coots, I've always really, really liked, and so it's good to see him regress offensively positively.
Go watch the Braden Coots game tape.
Yes, Braden Coots game tape. It exists, yes. You've got Jonathan Lekaramaki doing well. I didn't realize Matthew Lansing is like half a point a game as a freshman in college at Quinnipiac, so that's pretty good because we like Matthew Lansing. But by and large, I mean, I think the Canucks have quite a few interesting parts of the roster. They kind of lack that game-changing young player, I think, but they have a lot of good ones. Like, I would expect that Willander, Coots, Lekaramaki, maybe Pettersson the younger, but like, I think Ratu's played his way into a depth role on this team long-term. You've got Bouillon, you've got Rossi. Like, they have a lot of young players that this team might find its way somewhere better relatively soon. Time will tell, but I think they're doing okay relative to their NHL team, and it might be a rough season or two, but I think if you rely on your youth and let them sort of run and make mistakes and learn and grow, I think you'll be greatly rewarded. And I think at the end of the day, they could turn out just fine. That Quinn Hughes trade sucks because they lost Quinn Hughes, but adding Bouillon and Rossi and Ogren maybe, like, you're doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rank these rookie centers offensive upside: Ritchie, Nazar, Dvorsky. Probably Nazar, Ritchie, Dvorsky. I mean, look, Dvorsky, it's hard because with Dvorsky, it's like, if you put him on your power play, then he'll score goals because he can shoot, right? If someone passes him the puck, he'll blast it into the net. So, like, does that give him more offensive upside than a more dual threat rounded sort of two-way guy like a Nazar, or a more productive playmaking offensive guy like a Ritchie? They're kind of all different, but I think that I can rely the most on a Nazar in terms of overall dual threat offense and who he's going to play with. Ritchie is, I don't think, that far behind, but probably behind Nazar, and Dvorsky, I just have never been a huge fan. I think his game trends a little more third line center-ish with a power play shot threat type guy. And if that's more offensive upside in your mind, then so be it. But I see him as number 3 there. No shot a team in the top 3 risk-taking McKenna unless he has the best draft interviews of all time. I strongly disagree. I think that teams are gonna look. You're already seeing it. People are bending over backwards to give this guy a pat on the back for a job well done. Like, he's a Canadian elite player who, has been in the public eye forever, and people are looking at this as a manly moment from him, right? Like, that's what people are seemingly viewing this as. And I don't think NHL teams, like, again, like I said, if he were Russian or Finnish or something, or Swedish, I would bet that, look at, obviously it's not exactly the same, but like, look at what happened with Logan Mailloux, right? Logan Mailloux is a guest in someone else's country and almost immediately commits a crime, and it's extremely gross and embarrassing, where he asks teams not to draft him and he still ends up a first-round draft pick. Like, you're dealing with the NHL here, man. Like, this isn't, I don't know. I'm sure stuff like this happens quite often, and you just don't hear about it a lot because it's not involving Gavin McKenna. But, he's in a pretty good position to get through this, I think. I think he's in a pretty good position to get through it. Parekh with Villeneuve in the NHL. Boo, that would be fun. It would be crazy. If a sunburn can knock you down a whole round in the draft, a violent felony has to make you a first overall pick. Well, that's exactly it. Igor Chernyshov got a sunburn like 2 days before the draft and fell out of the first round because teams went, wow, that's so reckless, that he went out on a boat and got a sunburn last minute before the draft. Andrei Vasilevsky said the same thing. He was apparently he was saying that he was expecting to go, where was it? I forget where it was, but definitely earlier in the draft than he went. And he got a sunburn that was so bad that he had to reschedule meetings with teams on a day, and the teams never called him back. He's like, oh, can I reschedule our meeting? Like, I'm not feeling well, blah, blah, blah. And they just never called him. They just were like, well, I guess he's a loser, and just never,
Shouldn't have got a sunburn.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not applied equally here, right? Like, this is not.
He's also Russian.
Yeah. Like, this is not a meritocracy here, So, like, I don't know. How many times have you seen any professional athlete get themselves in legal hot water and come out the other end and just as if nothing happened, and everyone goes, welcome back, bud. Like, like it happens all the time. It just comes, again, it just comes down to the interview, how he comes off. What are you thinking? Thoughts on Beckett Hamilton? I wonder who's asking me this question. I think I might know. I mean, he's a good player. I don't know. You want
he's
me just
a good player because you like him.
Yeah, he's a good player because you like him, and you won't shut up about him. So I'll just say he's good, so you leave me alone. Olympic event you're most looking forward to watching besides hockey? Ski mountaineering, the new one. That's what I'm excited for. That and short track speed skating. I'm also I'm kind of a sucker for figure skating. Not ice dancing, but like figure skating, like for real, is sick.
Yeah, obviously Tessa Virtue better than Morgan Riley at skating.
Yeah. Yep. I'm also a sucker for moguls. Moguls is sick just because they're just bombing down the hill as fast as they can and their knees are exploding in front of your eyes. It's wild. They're like, the Winter Olympics are awesome. I could do a stream all day just toggling between Olympic sports and just have a ball, because there's very few that I don't enjoy. Long track speed skating, maybe I could maybe do without, but there's a lot of fun ones. Cross country skiing, probably won't tune into that. But like biathlon, man, woo! You ever watch biathlon? It's a good time. Oh, geez, here we go. Would you trade Nylander to the Jets for Barlow,
nope.
Jaeger, and a first? Yeah,
nope.
Okay, that's breach.
Nope.
That's bait.
Nope.
That's bait.
Nope.
If you
all those players suck, and William Nylander's amazing, so obviously no. And when I say they suck, I mean relatively to William Nylander, they suck.
If you put how far does Germany go in the World Juniors? If you put Draisaitl and Stützle in their current form on the team, they probably win the whole thing, right? Two of the best players in the world. Two of the top what? Stützle's probably what, top 30 in the world, top 20. If you ask Sens fans, top 10. I don't know. They probably win the whole damn thing.
Well, yeah, because Leon Draisaitl is so strong that nobody can get the puck off him already in the NHL. Imagine him bullying children.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's what we got. That's what he's contending. He's going to bully children instead of bully adults.
Alexander Komarov and NBA center Jalen Duran locked in a steel cage. Who's Jalen Duran? Is there a joke there? Jalen Duran. He is tall. I am very dumb, so you might need to explain this one to me, but probably Komarov, or Karmanov, sorry, because he's not only is he got 3 inches on this guy, but he's also from Moldova, and like it's impossible to not come out of Moldova hard. Like, you ever seen Moldova? Go Google some photos of Moldova. If you're from Moldova, you probably come out pretty strong mentally and physically, honestly, because that place is wild. What's the capital of Moldova again? Not Tirana. It's oh man. It's gonna bother me, and it's gonna annoy me when I see it.
Would you like me to search it up for you? Or are you trying to like actually retrieve the country, like the city?
Karmanov is from there. Moldova. No, what is it?
Could be.
Capital of Moldova. Chisinau. That's the one. Chisinau. Yeah, that's the one. There you go.
I remember that place, but not well enough to retrieve it.
It might be a province in EU4.
I don't think it is,
No? Okay.
honestly.
Who would have won the 2020 Memorial Cup? That's a good question, actually. I don't know.
Whoever you want.
Yeah, whoever you want. The Brampton Steelheads. There you go. Even though they weren't in Brampton.
I just like answering questions like that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's way funnier to do it.
It's what they want to hear. You know, you tell the people, you give the people what they want. Who's this player? I don't know, but they're going to be amazing.
But you like them, so they must be good.
Yeah, if I like them, I can answer the question. If I don't like them, I get indignant. I get indignant and really annoying. Let's see, who was killing it that year in the 2020? Oh, was that the year the Edmonton Oil Kings had like everybody?
Oh, might have been.
The Ottawa 6-7s were having a good year.
Oh boy, why would you say it like that?
What, is that not what they're called?
They're called the 67s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, they're surprisingly they're not named after a meme.
Oh, that was the Dylan Gunther, Jake Neighbors, Edmonton Oil Kings with Kosa.
Yeah,
that's a good team.
Probably them.
Yeah.
Probably that team wins.
Yeah, looking at just like Sherbrooke was good that year, but I don't buy a lot of them being a thing. That's a good team though. Portland Kamloops, I think, was good around then. I mean, they're top of their division, but I think
they had Logan Stankoven.
Stankoven in his -1, but it was also Connor Zary was on that team. Josh Pilar was good around then too. I'd probably Edmonton. Portland was also really good that year. Who was on the Ottawa? Okay, now I'm going to see who was on the Ottawa 67s that year and see. Kevin Ball. Oh yeah, they had the big boys.
Marco Rossi be on that team?
Yeah,
then,
that was a good Ottawa 67s team. They had Quinn, Rossi, Joe Garefa. Remember Joseph Garefa? He was fun. Really good that year. Graham Clark, Brant's brother. Jack Beck. Austin Keating was still kicking around. He was a pretty good player too. Honestly, yeah, maybe Ottawa. Ottawa and Edmonton. I'm looking at Portland. Yeah, I don't know if Portland would have pulled it off, but yeah. Good year. Good question. Good year. Fun times. Where were we? Which Winter Olympic sport would you be best at, not including ice hockey?
Straight line skating until I wiped out. I was good in the straight line, but I was not good at stopping.
It might be short track speed skating. Like, because I'm not really good in a straight line, but I am pretty good with my body weight and my turns. But I mean, that's an easy answer because, like, you know, it's skating. But let's see. I mean, I do snowboard. I haven't in years, but I'm capable. I couldn't do ski mountaineering. I've only ever skied once in my life. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really done anything else. Definitely not curling. Curling is incredibly hard. It might be short track speed skating. That might be what I'd put my money in. I know it's a bad answer, but I don't care. This is so late, but McDavid has fought in the NHL. I don't think anyone thought he was risking his skill and hands the way people are talking about McKenna and putting his hands at risk. That doesn't make it okay. like it's like saying I played five finger fillet and I didn't cut my fingers off, so I'm good. So it's okay for everyone to do it, right? Like, it's stupid for Connor McDavid to do it too, right? Like, if I were an incredibly skilled high-end offensive NHL player and I was worth hundreds of millions of dollars, you couldn't, I mean, you couldn't pay me to get in a fight, but like, There's no way. Like, how many fights has Connor McDavid even been in? Like 2? Like 3? He did get in a fight in his junior year and broke his hand or whatever, right? Didn't he? Or was the year before or something like that? Like, it doesn't make it okay to put your body at risk for the thing that makes you a ton of money just because other people do it too. Like, that's nonsense to me. Like, he's, especially because he's 18, right? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make it smart. Like, it certainly doesn't make it a smart thing to do at all, I don't think. McKenna's the perfect guy to counteract the pain. Okay, whatever. Like, look, the perfect guy to counteract the pain. Like, McKenna's not going to do this on the ice. He shouldn't be doing this on the ice. Like, I feel like I'm insane. Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, this is not, like, oh my God. Oh my God. AJ, why is Will evil? I don't know.
Will's not evil.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm evil because I don't like the idea of fighting people I don't know because they said words to people I care about. Maybe that makes me bad. Maybe that makes me a bad son. Sorry, Mom. If someone says something derogatory, I'm not going to go get myself in an enormous legal battle over it. My bad. I'm not very nice. Yeah, triggering me. Yeah, it's easy. I mean, look, I'm 35. I'm an uncle now. I don't know how to take a joke. I can't do it. It's impossible. There's no way. Oh, you apparently said I suck at scouting. That's fine. I do, actually. If you had
That's a lie. This is a lie.
If you had a 3-team no trade clause, who are the 3 teams on your list? Tampa, Florida, and Dallas. Boom.
Those teams I would be very open to going to.
I would not.
Ottawa, Buffalo, Winnipeg.
I mean, Winnipeg would also be very close on that list, but I just am so off. I'm just so terribly off-put by Florida as a whole and how Texas designs their cities. I cannot for the life of me understand how people are like, oh, like the taxes matter and this is what matters. It's like, bro, you're going to live there. Like, you would think that the way in which you live there is going to matter a lot more than if you make $9 million or $8.5 million on your salary, right? You would think, sorry, there's a hair in my face here. Like, you would think, at least if it were me, I'd go, where do I want to actually like live? You know, like, if I'm making $10 million in New York City, if I'm making $10 million in Dallas, I will guarantee you I will be much less happy than if I'm making $8 million in Manhattan. Like, that's just me. But other people have different priorities. And you know what? Winnipeg, I at least know that in Winnipeg, people are diehard fans.
They're diehards, but do you want to end up like Brad Lambert?
I mean, I don't know. Do I want to end up like Jonathan Taves, who has multiple Stanley Cups? I don't know.
Yeah, but he didn't win those in Winnipeg. He was just born in Winnipeg.
Look, with Winnipeg, I can at least see. I mean, also, it's like I live in Canada already. It's cold. Oh no, shucks, darn.
I don't want it to be colder. I just experienced a crazy storm here.
It is annoying, but. No, I'm okay. I
don't want to shovel my driveway like that again. That's not fun. That's all.
Yeah, no. Still pretty clear. Florida, Tampa, Dallas for me. I just don't like
that's obviously, you know, like we're not going to have the same answers. We have different priorities. Yeah. Will hates Florida and Texas. It's as simple as that.
People do stuff within 5 miles of their house. Traffic doesn't matter if you and your friends have really nice houses in the suburbs. But, like, that's not how I want to live. Like, I don't want to live in the suburbs with all my friends nearby all the time. Like, I want to live in a place where I can walk out my front door and, like, explore where I live. Like, that's why I like places like New York or Chicago or Boston or whatever. Like, I live in the suburbs. I live here because it's cheap. If I had millions, if I had millions and millions of dollars, I'd be living downtown in Toronto. And if I had to take the subway to see my friends, I don't care. I'm a multi-gajillionaire. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Like, I'm not saying that like everybody has to live that way, but
everybody's got a different style of life, like that they want.
I couldn't care less.
He prioritizes something different, and that's totally fine. He's allowed to.
Yeah, quality of life for me is not based on living in the suburbs and getting in my car and driving everywhere all the time. Like and gated communities are weird. Like, they freak me out. Like, living in like private gated communities with a bunch of other rich people, like, I don't know, man. It sounds a lot better than it actually is, I think. Like, I don't know.
Will's been spooked by the Epstein files. Doesn't want to get himself into anything like that.
Have you ever been immersed in a community of very wealthy people? Because I have, and it's not great. like it. It's not
semi wealthy, but like not anything that crazy.
Yeah, because like I went to high school with a bunch of people who
same here
and
same here.
Like, you wonder how people become the way that they are when they're older, and you see how it happens. A lot of it happens behind the gates of a gated community, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like for me,
right.
If I could, I would live in this house the rest of my life, man. I would love that. I'm so content here, but
I mean, I'd be fine here too, but like,
it's not going to happen.
If I was being paid $10 million a year, it doesn't matter how much tax I'm paying on it. I want to go to a place where I'm actually going to enjoy living there and not want to drive a nail through my skull sitting in Dallas traffic going anywhere for ever on an 80-lane highway. I mean, I live in Toronto. We have the largest highway ever. But at the end of the day, I can at least live, anyway, whatever. Nonetheless, it's not my thing.
Yep, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Apparently, okay, yes, it was Ottawa for Vasilevsky. That was it. Ottawa was the team that kind of wanted him, and he got a sunburn, and they never called him.
Oh, boy.
Where did you have Wittenbach ranked before the draft last year? He was on my watch list last year. I saw him as and I still do, very offensively talented, very finishing oriented, but not a very complete player. I mean, I'm very surprised at how much success he's had this quickly. But yeah, I think he was a relatively limited profile, but had some very, very, very good, puck in the offensive zone skill finishing, like very JT Hurlburt style vibe to him for me. Pretty comparable. Not like the same, maybe not the same level of like pure skill, but in terms of overall profile, similar. Yes, I agree. Move guys up who get sunburns. Exactly. Or at least don't move them down. That's kind of the thing. If you think the kid's good, just because they got a sunburn doesn't mean they're bad.
No, it means they don't care about your time and don't want to talk to you. That's all it means.
Yeah, I mean, one time I got a sunburn when I was 16 that was so bad my entire leg like peeled off. And so, and I turned out okay. So, I mean, I was in a canoe for 8 hours straight in shorts. So the sun was just beaming down on my legs for a whole day. And
funny enough, I've barely gotten any sunburns in my life. The only places that I get sunburned are like my prominent features, which happen to be my nose and ears, because I have a big nose and Yoda ears or Spock. So that's where I get burned. But everywhere else, never experienced it.
Yeah. What makes you lower on Malhotra than most? Just curious. He could be a low end 1C or higher, or a higher 2NC.
Well, why?
Yeah, why?
Why do you think that?
Why do you believe that? Right? Like, people are just saying stuff. Like it's like, do you have any idea how hard it is to be a first line center in the NHL? Like, the bar for entry on, like, if you could say for a fact that Malhotra is gonna be a 1C, like, he should be number 1 on your list this year. Like, there aren't any players on the list for me that I look at and I go, I could definitely see them being a number 1 center. I just don't have that confidence. And I think if you do have that confidence, you're being very, 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 very confident. Like, there are probably less than 32 true number 1 centers in the league. Guys who you want out there as often as possible. Like, there's probably fewer than 32. So are you saying he has the potential to be one of the 30 best centers in the world? Okay.
It's probably more like 25, really.
Sure, maybe, but I don't think he's there. I think if you, like, I see him again, it's like I was actually on Sportsnet Vancouver the other night, did a radio interview, and they asked me back to back. I didn't instigate this, but they asked me, like, is Tynan Lawrence's play at Boston University worrying you? And my short answer was no. Like, no, because the situation, the context is very unique and tough for a kid like him. And it's like, and then they asked me about Caleb Malhotra and if he has passed Lawrence on my list. And I said no, because they don't have the same luxury of the same pathway this year. Like Lawrence was extremely productive on his junior team in a league that is more physical and probably more NHL-like than the OHL is by and large in the USHL these days. And he was scoring and scoring and scoring and doing it very much through his own abilities. Malhotra, like if Malhotra went to Boston University and had the same situation as Lawrence and kind of had a bit of trouble putting the puck in the net for his first 10 games, is he automatically like not an elite player? Because if that's the case, then you were wrong about him when he was in Brantford, or you were wrong about Lawrence when he was in Muskegon. But what's more likely, right? That the adjustment is tough, or that he sucked the whole time, you know? So it's like you have to be really careful, because the mind games that you can play, like go back, and if you put the shoe on the other foot, like if Lawrence stayed with Muskegon for the rest of the year, and like what's his pace if he had finished the rest of the year? He would have finished the year with 41 points in probably like 30 games, something like that, which for a USHL player, for a center, is really good. And Malhotra is playing on, I would argue, by far the best OHL team there is, that is absolutely loaded with skill and loaded with offense and loaded with everything. So I think that with Malhotra, if he's got time and space to wheel up and on a retrieval or something like that, and he can just barrel up the ice, there's a lot that he does that I think is interesting. I think that when the game slows down, he is way less effective. I think that his playmaking is really good. Like the thing about this draft is that he's in a tier that stretches from 11 to 24. I don't know. Like I don't think you can say with any level of certainty really across the board that, like, you know for a fact that this is this or this is. There's a lot of guys that bring very good things to the game. Malhotra's another one of them. And if he goes like top 5, then I'm not the one to do that. It's one of those things where people talk about him as if he is God. So if I disagree, I end up watching him more than everybody. And I keep finishing games of Malhotra, and maybe it's just because I watch 5-on-5, but it matters. Because I look at him and I finish the games and I go, that didn't look like a top 5 pick to me. Like, he's not bad. He's a first round pick, but like maybe a second line center, probably a good third line center. He's projectable. I think he'll play. But like if his last name were Svensson and he were in Sweden, I feel like he would not be considered a top 5 pick. But he, you know, his name is Malhotra. He plays for the best team in the OHL. And yeah, it just, I don't know. Yeah. Have I seen the Oregon State hockey team? No, I have not seen them. I live very far from Oregon, and I've never seen them play. Yeah, McDavid kickboxing and injuring his legs. Exactly. Like, you know, obviously in a controlled and safe environment, you can do stuff like that. But if he were like an actual, like, I'm going to go kickbox in the summer, I think we all rightfully would be like, that's very dumb. That is a very dumb thing to do, but go off.
It's like how George Kittle was talking about, oh, I love WWE. I want to do this. Oh, wait, that would be really dumb because I play football.
Yeah.
And I get injured as it is already. Maybe I won't do that.
Yep. Okay. What's this here? Why is the leading WHL scorer not in your top 32? Is that Hurlburt? Because I don't think his game projects to the NHL very much, and I think people are underestimating how much of a step back the CHL has taken. Like, I think Hurlburt, yeah, he is leading the league in scoring. That's crazy. I mean, like, on that angle, then why is Liam Ruck not top 10, right? Like, Liam Ruck's third in WHL scoring, and so why is he not top 10? Like, I think with Hurlburt, he is very skill heavy. He is very sort of individual heavy. I think a lot of his 5-on-5 play does not look like successful NHL 5-on-5 play. I mean, could I see him being taken in the first round? Maybe. But if Cam Schmidt is a third round pick, then JP Hurlburt probably shouldn't be a first round pick either. Because I like a lot more about Schmidt's game than I do Hurlburt's. I just, maybe I'm missing something, but he's very skilled. But I don't see, like Jacob Kvasnik is top 10 in WHL scoring. Like Miroslav Holinka is 10th in scoring. Is he gonna be an elite? Was he worth drafting in the first round? Probably not. I don't know. I think that a lot of really good players left the CHL. A lot of goaltenders who are really good have left the CHL. I think it is a very sketchy place to be. It's a very sketchy place right now to be very confident. And I think that we're at a point where, like, I don't know, whatever. It's the same thing as Malhotra. Like, every time I finish a Hurlburt game, I go, do I want to move him up my list? And the answer almost always, looking at the guys ahead of him, is no. I just don't think he brings as much to the game in as many areas as other guys in my first round. Maybe last year he might be in my first round, but I don't know. And again, like, I keep saying it, I don't care how much people score. I just don't. It's fun. It's good to know. It's important to know. But like Julian Mays is like with Calgary top 5, top 6 in league scoring. If you just look at his time in Calgary, 26 points in 18 games. Is Julian Mays also a first round pick? If he is, then why? If he isn't, why not? Right? I don't think he is. So anyway,
this is about projecting the future, not who is scoring now.
I just don't see it. You
can score points in a certain way when you play like in a junior league that might not necessarily be translatable to the NHL.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing that we miss, is that there's context to how those points go in. Watching, and like Joshua ended up being like having his flash in the pan moment in the NHL, or the NHL, but like I watched him play and he would just shoot from behind the blue line and score sometimes. Like it all depends on how a person is actually doing it, and doesn't really matter how many points we can point to many examples of guys who score points and then don't turn out into much. Like, how many points did Nick Patan score, Will?
Yeah, like 120.
Yeah,
a lot.
Right? And
like, I get it. He's leading the league in scoring. I get it. I get it. But so what? Right? Like, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's like, I watched so many guys in the CHL this year, and I just go, I don't, like, the league does not look like it used to. It does not, like, the USHL, for example, like, not only, like, the USHL has a huge advantage because there's fewer teams and it concentrates talent a lot more. And it is, like, again, I really urge, watch like a WHL game on one screen and a USHL game on another. I get the feeling that the USHL trains guys a lot better to be better at higher end hockey levels, right? Like, I just finished game tapes or video rooms on Martone and Hagens back to back. And I really like Porter Martone. I do. But I think there are a lot more limitations in his game from habits that he's learned in junior hockey at college hockey than there were with Hagens. One was way better than the other, I felt. And it wasn't the guy that, everybody seems to love the most, the Canadian guy. Like, Hagens was really, really good. And he doesn't have the points, right? He doesn't have the scoring, but I thought he was way better. Spoiler alert. What's your cheat meal? Every day is a cheat meal for me. Are you kidding me? I mean, I try to eat healthy, but like, I don't know. I don't really have cheat meals because I don't have anything to cheat on. I don't know. I don't really, now that I'm in my 30s, like, grotesque amounts of slop is not really as appetizing to me as it used to be. Just give me some nice chicken thighs roasted in the oven off the bone and, make some nice veggies.
We'll call it a day.
And call it a day, yeah. Not complicated. Have you ever had an HOA? I mean, I live in a condo corporation now, but they're pretty functional. If your HOA consists of people who live there, then it might not be so bad. But if it's like a corporate one with like appointed people, then you're going to wish that people would volunteer to be on the board, because that's when it gets really bad. But here, can't complain, really. You can rail on Florida if you want, but they had by far the largest win in public transport in decades with the Bright Line. Cool, but it's still Florida, so pass.
It's still Florida.
Every time I've been to Florida,
Will hates Florida.
Every time I have been there, I cannot wait to leave. All due respect to everybody who lives in Florida. If you love it, great, cool. It is not my
his
vibe.
place.
It is not
his
my
place,
vibe.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
Not everything is made for everybody.
It's not. It's true.
Hence the NHL All-Star Game. Do most of us like it? No. But did I watch it as a child? Yes.
Yep. Who's winning in a fist fight one-on-one? That is true. It is a good lesson to learn as you get older. Is if things are not made for you, shut up.
Exactly. That's
Kids
why
shows these days.
Jeff Merrick taught me that while I was going to school, and not because it was in a class, but he just said, and he was talking about the NHL All-Star Game in particular. He's like, I don't complain about it because it's not made for me. And he's right. It's not made for him. It's not made for us. So shut up and watch something else instead of complaining about it. You know, like we spend so much time worrying about, this thing that doesn't really affect us. Yeah. Yeah. So shut up. It's okay. Yeah. You don't have to watch it. It's like as simple as that.
Whenever I hear older generations talk about like, you didn't have this, or you watched these shows and they're so dumb. It's like, man,
there was dumb entertainment back in your day.
Yeah, shut up, punk.
Yeah.
Just leave it, man. Like, oh no. Like, I can't tell you how many parents thought the Teletubbies were incredibly stupid, but it's like, it's made for literal babies, my friend.
I watched Caillou when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was awful.
And people go,
it's awful, but it was the only thing that would give my mom some peace during the day.
Right. And also, like, who cares, you know? Anyway, whatever. You know, it is what it is. Whatever. It's a tale as old as time. People thinking that their generation was the best. One of my favorite things is to go back and look at old newspapers sometimes in my spare time, and some of the stuff you see, you're like, this may as well have been written in 2026 about how the world is coming to an end. Nothing is ever good. Everything's terrible. The world is coming to an end, and all this other stuff. It's wild. Sometimes things just don't change. So relax, I guess, would be my advice. Relax and touch grass.
Thanks, Unk.
Yeah, exactly. Who's winning in a fist fight one-on-one between McKenna and Patrick Kane? All right, I'm done with McKenna. I'm done. We're going to move on.
Who's taller?
Yeah, whoever's bigger. What are the odds Ryder Cali goes round one? Slim, but not zero. How come you're down on the OHL more than a lot of fans? Because I watch a lot of hockey, and it is often the biggest drag. Like, the CHL has become a bit of a drag to watch, and you see guys getting look at the World Juniors. It's incredible how fast people have forgotten about why Canada struggled at the World Juniors this year when their backs were against the wall, and why they have struggled for the last 3 years. Because they are put in a situation that they never, ever, ever, ever face in the CHL. Like, it is just not the same. If someone on the other team, if an entire team wants to rip your head off, they will try to rip your head off. That is not how the CHL operates. We watch so much hockey together in the server, and it is incredible how more and more over time people are going, wow, there's a lot less to say when watching a CHL game. Like, I think with we lot of
CHL haters in our chat, actually.
I think a lot of CHL guys, it's like, it's not that they're bad players. It's just they have a lot to learn and adapt to. Whereas a lot of players from outside the CHL, they are much more used to a certain approach to the game, right? Where it's a lot more physical and a lot more high energy and a lot more whatever. Like, the other thing too is there are 60 teams in the CHL. 60. They each have 20.
Across many different provinces, but still.
There are 1,200 players in those leagues, probably more, right? So the difference between the number one ranked player in the CHL, let's say it's JP Hurlburt, and the 1,200th player is it's gargantuan. Like, Hurlburt could embarrass that guy every day. But the funnel of hockey development, it's like the cream of the crop go up a level, and then the cream of the crop of that level go up a level. And what is the deciding factor? Like, I watch so much hockey, and I see people telling me like, oh, like you don't like Carson Carroll's as much because he has to play 27 minutes a night, so he's not trying as hard. And it's like,
why does he have to play 27 minutes a night?
Well, yeah, number one, why are you playing him 27 minutes a night then? And two, like, is he going to play 27 minutes a night in the NHL? And if he does, is he going to play like this? Because if he plays like this, I don't think he's going to be very good. And there's also guys playing 20 minutes a night in pro hockey in Europe and more exciting and more intriguing. So it's like, that just sounds like a bit of an excuse, right? Like it's very strange. So for me, watching like as much hockey as I do, there is a correlation between a lot of guys playing in the CHL. Like, look at Mathis Preston, for example. He didn't score as much because he didn't have anyone to play with. There was nobody around him. And the number of times he tries to elevate everybody else, the more he tries to like elevate everybody else, it just doesn't get rewarded, you know? And like, maybe he could do things better himself to score more on his own. But like, he had like Nathan Mays feeding him breakout passes. Half the time that puck's going up in the air 30 feet and ending up in the offensive zone for an icing call. Like, what's he supposed to do? Like, hockey is a game where like a weak link can make you look awful, and 5 really strong links can turn you into Caleb Malhotra, right? You go from maybe a second round pick at the beginning of the year, not at the Holinka tournament, to, or I don't think he was, to potentially the first center taken off the board and maybe a top 5, top 3 pick. Like, it's so much of it is context. And I just, yeah, I don't know. I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think a lot of really good players left the CHL, and especially now, you've got to be really careful because a bunch of teams have sold. There are going to be teams that lose every game 7-1 for the rest of the year, and scoring 5 points and scoring 5 points on a team that is tanking in the WHL and losing every game 7-1. I'm sorry, but I don't care, right? Like, I just don't care. Because bad CHL teams are very, very bad, with all due respect, right? Like, they're very good players overall, but we're talking about the NHL. That's all I care about. The NHL, right? That's it. So if I see things taking a step back, then things I think are taking a step back. All right. Let's wrap this up here. Would you rather have player A, best power play scorer ever, or a stronger 5-on-5? A stronger 5-on-5. You can't rely on your power play to solve your problems. Yeah. I mean, 5-on-5, you play the game at 5-on-5 maybe 90% of the time, maybe more, probably more. I'll take the guy who's better when the game is played 90% of the time than the guy who rules. Like, what was it? The Leafs haven't had a power play in 3 games or something. So like,
oh boy. Hey, but they've won all 3 games.
It's true.
Maybe that's the key. Don't go the power play.
That's true. Maybe that's Colorado's strategy.
Well, it's just a power play all the time for them. Feels like
that's true. My issue with the Malhotra debate is people keep likening him to his dad. His dad went 7th overall, never got more than 35 points in a season, and had a career 2 points in 35 playoff games. Well, I think that his role in the NHL will be similar to his father. Like, I think that he is probably a good third-line center. Is he maybe going to score more? Sure. He's got more skill. Sure. But I don't know. I think he learned a lot from his dad. I think he plays a similar role, even if he is more productive and more skilled and, you know, more of a playmaker than his dad. But in terms of NHL role, maybe. Correction, Oklahoma State. No, I did see they're joining Division I or trying to, but I did not really pay much attention to that. I remember when Manny Malhotra was drafted. Hey, so do I. And as a prospect, they kept saying he was the next Mark Messier. Yes, exactly. Like, this is why it makes me crazy, because it's like people talk and yap. It's like, this guy's this top NHL player. This guy's this top NHL player. And I'm sitting here going like, I don't know, they could be a third line player. Like, sure, whatever. And it's like, I'm the crazy one because I'm the one who's not like glazing them like a donut. Like, it's like, okay, like, I'm just trying to be reasonable. and realistic and set the bar to a point where it's like, I think this is reasonable. Because if you set play, it's like, oh my God, we have Marc Messier now. And then it's like, oh, what a bust. They turned out to be a great bottom six center. Like, oh God, heavens above. What are we going to do? You know, it's like.
You want to see something awesome, Will?
No.
Yes, you do. I just asked ChatGPT for player comps.
Oh no.
For the entire 20. I can't even upload this because it's too long.
Oh no.
That's annoying. Let me just send half of it then. Okay. There you go. That's the first half.
Ivar Stenberg, Gabriel Landeskog, or Jordan Eberle. Oh boy. McKenna. McKenna. McKenna is Goudreau and Kachuk. That's funny. What's this?
Ryan Lynn is like Dylan Gunther.
Yep. Ethan Belchetz is James Van Riemsdyk. I mean, this is Ryan Rubrek, Austin Matthews. That's sick. I think ChatGPT might be onto something here.
Yeah, why don't you just do this from now on? And you don't have, then you can stream Olympic coverage all you want. Keaton Bearhoff, Miro Heiskanen.
Oh God.
Chase Reed, Kel McCarr.
Okay, let's finish the show. This is getting crazy.
Lawrence, Sean Monahan.
Do you watch
Malhotra, Bo Horvat?
Do you watch any hockey channels on YouTube or podcasts? I mean, I listen to 32 Thoughts. I watch EP's channel. Like the stuff they put out, I usually watch their stuff. But not like once in a blue moon, I'll listen to an SDP podcast, but mostly because
you hate yourself.
It rage baits me, and it's usually when things are awful because I'm a decrepit old man.
Yeah. Like I used to watch a bit of Grav in 2009, but that was more because like I had all the free time in the world, but now that I have a job, it's kind of hard to do to keep up, and it's not that their content's gotten worse. It's just I don't have time anymore. Right. But we love Grav here because he comes on our show and is a very good dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, other podcasts, I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts anymore, at least not hockey ones. I really have learned over the years to ignore people.
Yes.
I have really learned to ignore a lot of the yapping that goes on around and just sort of make my own mistakes and come to my own conclusions, because people remember every mistake I've ever made, but casually forget a lot of mistakes that other people have thrown out there over the years. So I'm trying to just sort of roll with it and go with it. I don't know. But
you know what hockey content I listen to because I have to? The Rod Peterson show. Yes. And that's a load of nothing. Yep. There is nothing being said ever on that show. My goodness. And when it does get said, usually it's dead wrong.
I'm gonna just don't talk bad about your boss's work.
No, everybody, no, he's not my boss. We all talk bad about the show.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's funny. It's a fun, we have Rod Peterson bingo card type stuff. When is he gonna say that he's a certified life coach?
Oh boy.
And that it's because people would come to him with their problems.
Yep.
You observe 11:11, which is or 1:11 Eastern, doing that stuff. There's a lot of funny things that Rod says that we find quite funny. Right. And anytime Winnipeg gets mentioned, he yells, "Get pegged."
Oh God.
And this is a man as old as my dad. Almost.
Oh God. Well, yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Sure, it's something. Would you draft both Ruck brothers? I mean, I was actually asked about this on Sportsnet Vancouver the other night, and I very awkwardly had to say no because they asked about them as first-round picks, and they had just also been on the show being interviewed by them, so I had to sort of tiptoe around it a little bit and be like, I mean, I like the guys, but like first-round pick might be a little much, but like they're fine. Like I like Liam a lot more than Marcus as a player. I think Liam is a very, 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 very smart player. You know, moves the puck really intelligently. I just don't know if it's going to project. Just a sort of lower event player, but like just sees the ice really well. So he's a tough one for me to crack. But like mid-round picks, yeah, sure. I think teams will be able to get both if they wanted to. But I don't think it's like you got to go out and get them because they're twins and they're so good that you have to get both of them.
And you got to imagine that question's asked because think about the market that you're talking to and what that market did with a certain Henrik and Daniel at 2 and 3. So
of course, and that was how it was phrased, right? Like it was.
Of course it was. Yeah. See, I have a diploma. Yeah. I don't remember what exactly it's in, but I have a diploma.
I get it.
Which is a great sign. I don't remember what it is in. Thoughts on
Wittenbach? We're going to do a video room on him because honestly, I'm a little tired of answering questions about him. Not you specifically, but we get asked about Ethan Wittenbach like at least twice a week. And
I would say you get asked because I do not.
But we will do a video room on him eventually. He's not in the next batch, but we'll put him on the list for the one after because I do want to see what's going on there because I've watched a bit of him this year. I still feel the same, but I don't know. Maybe he's incredible. I don't know. But
maybe he's the greatest player of all time.
Maybe he is the greatest player of all time. Do you watch SDPN or Hockey Guy? Not really. There was a phase where I watched the Hockey Guy.
Is honestly solid.
I mean, I do like him. I just don't really have the time. Like I don't really have the time to consume a lot of like long form media anymore.
Like that guy watches.
The hustle is incredible. I will never ever say a bad word about that guy ever in my life. The respect I have is immense. Like I just am not a viewer, but like. It's not because I don't like him. It's because I just don't really have the time. But also, it's just his work his output is crazy, for sure.
Yeah, no, he like honestly, if you want, like he's actually really good. He's really good because he does put in all the time that he needs to in order. Like he watches every freaking game, man. I don't know how you do that. Like that is absolutely insane to me.
Yeah,
he watches every game.
I can't do that. I'll just watch 12 junior hockey games a day. That's what I'll do instead, you know.
And feel awful.
Yeah, and feel awful. Yeah. Who do you think would win in an empty net shootout between Patrick Stefan and last night's Habs? That's a good one. That's a good one.
That is a very good one.
Yep. Speaking of the Olympics, will you be doing any watch-alongs for hockey or other events? Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I don't know when. I'll have to think about it, but I would love to because it would be a lot of fun, and all the events are streamed live, and it's just like with all the video room stuff I'm doing now, I have to edit them too. Like I just the time I have during the day is just like very, very, very limited, and the events are during the day, right? So like I'd have to figure that out. I don't know. It would be nice though. I mean, hockey probably at some point I'll like you know. The playoffs or medal rounds or something like that would be a lot of fun, but we'll see. I would love to though. I would love to. If I was just a YouTube streamer guy, absolutely I'd be on here every day. But my job is not this, right? Like it's not really my job.
Unless you want to pay more.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a mean way. Like I just mean that we would love to make
it would
that,
be nice, yeah.
Just kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, last question of the day. Heated rivalry watch party when? I'll watch that show again if you want me to, man. Honestly, I've said this before, but honestly, one of the best TV shows I've ever seen in my life. Just one of the best TV shows I've ever seen in my life. I don't care what anyone else says or thinks. It's incredible. It was.
Are you gonna do it in one sitting, just like Gary Bettman?
Dude, that
I know that makes you mad. That's why I said it.
It makes me more upset now than it did a week ago. Like. That he just bold-faced told that pathetic lie. There is no way that he sat through all of that in one go. And it's
he just wasn't paying attention.
Maybe. He just turned it on and just let it run while he was making dinner or something, and just by the end of the night it was over. But like I honestly, and it's not just because it's like, like it has a non-heteronormative relationship in it, so it's awkward and weird. Like, no, the emotional weight of that show, it makes it, unless you don't understand what's happening, or you legitimately are the most emotionless person out there, you cannot sit through all of those at one time. It's impossible.
Oh, I just think Gary Bettman's a robot, so
it's like
makes sense to me.
It's like you go out at a really fancy restaurant and the dishes are small, but they're like so rich that it's like, I'm glad they're small, you know? it was a 6-course meal of really rich food that if I went to a restaurant and served food that was along the lines of Heated Rivalry per episode, and it was like the richness was how good and intense those episodes were, I probably would have left a bad review on the restaurant and been like, okay, course 1 and 2, awesome. 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the same night, in the same go, you got to change the menu a little bit there. But I'll come back tomorrow for them because they were really good. You know, it's like, that's fine with me. But just, I mean, maybe he's not lying, but I'm relatively certain he lied. I'm relatively certain. And
or he just didn't pay attention.
He didn't pay attention. But anyway, we're running over time. I got to get out of here too.
So do I.
I was going to record a video room after this, but I am wiped. They'll do that tomorrow morning. But we'll get to that later. But thanks for joining me. This was a lot of fun. We'll see you Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, same as usual. I don't know if you'll be here, but
it'll depend on how dead I am because I have the weekend overnight shift.
We'll see who comes in.
But for sure, Albert Smith's game tape will be up either after that stream, or before then. Because I'm almost done. And
Anton Frondell video room tomorrow at lunchtime around noon Eastern. So look for that.
A lot of content coming your way, guys.
Content. Okay.
Goodbye.
Well, thanks very much. We'll see you around Monday night, 8 Eastern. If you haven't already, definitely check out Scouching.ca or our membership program. Give us money.
Buy our merch.
Give us all your money.
Buy us a billion coffees.
Yeah, buy us a billion coffees, and then maybe we'll buy our way. Maybe we'll buy Bitcoin.
Nephew is the savior of the Leafs.
Maybe we'll buy Bitcoin. Okay, bye.
It's over.